I just might be in your hood.
Fuck out of here, man. You dumbass niggas. You niggas is silly out here trying to look cute and shit, man.
I
Don't
just
play,
might
man.
be
This shit's
in
serious,
your
bro.
hood.
Niggas wanna come talk to me about all this dumb shit. Nigga ain't trying to...
What's going on, YouTube? Little fella checking in, man. Boy, the struggles of an owner-operator. I tell you. Well, as y'all know, I'm in the loaner truck right now, Coronado. That was generously loaned to me by my partner. As you know, I am an owner-operator. So, I don't sit there and say I work for somebody. I work with somebody because I, too, have my own business. So, in terms of that, I had to drop my truck off at the dealership in Memphis. Well, the problem first arose. I was heading I-40 East, and I was in Jackson, Tennessee. And I noticed my check engine light and my, what they call a CEL light came on with my def light flashing, and it threw 2 active codes. So, I was able to pull off to the shoulder, get some advice to do a park regen, and it did for about 45 minutes. It got rid of the 2 active codes, but the CEL light was still on. So, with that being said, I knew I had to get the truck back in the shop. Now, if y'all watch my videos, I had a DEF, DPF part 1 and 2. And they resolved those other issues by cleaning out my DEF tank, refilling it with good DEF, and replacing the DEF filter. But they didn't figure out what the third problem was. Remember, if y'all watched it, the third problem couldn't be cleared because it was a permanent code. Now, that's BS. There's no such thing as a permanent code unless the problem is fixed. It should clear, no problem. So there's certain codes that you get on your dash that can be diagnosed, at a third-party mechanic shop, whereas other problems need to be taken to the dealer. That I did. I took it to the dealership in Memphis, dropped it off, picked up a loaner truck. I'm still on the same load I picked up in Kentucky. I deliver it down here in Louisiana tomorrow morning. Now my next load should pass me right back up to Memphis so I can get back in my truck. But this is what they found, and I'll help y'all out and show you my invoice of what they did and how they fixed it. Excuse the mess. It's not mine. Well, some of the stuff is, but the floor can't do nothing about. So I'm trying to make this clear as I can. So of course today's on the 29th. My mileage, of course, I had the truck when I bought it. It was at 560. I'm not 560. It was at 460. So I put about close to 100,000 miles on it. So here you read the condition. The CEL light, or CEL, is on. I guess the L stands for light. Check and advise. Customer supply key. Well, don't worry about that. That's because I made a copy at the Walmart. And anybody that has a Cascadia, if you have one key, make a copy at Walmart. I forgot which is that key. It should be an A19 key or A17 key. It could be a short key. They'll tell you, oh, the key's too short. Don't worry about that. The big thing is for it to cut perfectly so that it can be used. Now, my key, when I put in the driver door, it has to be facing, I'm gonna say A side, B side, which, A side of the key, B side of the key. A side will open my door, B side will start the truck. It cannot be the other way around, but that's what happened when you use a Walmart key. I've locked my key in the truck before with one key, and it happens so quickly, it's hard to catch. Sometimes you'll get out the truck and you'll touch the door lock when you're getting out the truck, and then lock it and shut the door, and at that instant moment, boom, you lock your key in the truck is running. So yeah, anybody go to Walmart key. It costs $2 or $3 at most. Make a copy of your key. That way you have no problem. So, pull truck in the shop, started troubleshooting. Active code was the SPN 326 FMI 18. On my dash, it said FMI21. So either that was a typo, or like I said, once they hook up to the dealer computer, it shows a lot more stuff to get more in depth. So it says fault for SCR knock sensor, which is the one I wrote at the very bottom of my other video, drift low. It says that they found that the inlet knock sensor needs to be replaced. Per troubleshooting, put parts on, remove whatever, you can read. They moved the fairing, took the one off, put a new one on, started a manual regen. I don't know why he put it twice unless he got some kind of a, I don't know, medical condition. Completed at 89%. Look, per space sent. Yeah, maybe he got some kind of a but anyways, the 89% thing, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be at 100 or if 89 is good or bad, or if it's supposed to be lower. I'm not absolutely sure. If you know something about this, comment below, let me know, or just give me an idea what you think it might be. So the total labor was $730. Mind you, you take it to any Freightliner dealer, they charge you a minimum of 2 hours of labor. So that comes up to about $300 or $291 to be kind of more exact. So if you subtract that, it's really like the high fours for the labor actually taking off the sensor, putting it on. So I would guess maybe a 3-hour job, maybe 4, to actually replace it. The parts for the sensor, $255.95. And then of course I asked him to grease my fifth wheel. Anytime I drop my trailer, I always get the fifth wheel grease. It helps out the steer tires with the wear of the tires of the steer. If I said that right. So I always keep that grease every chance I get, people. That is important. So I scroll down, and at the very bottom, the total damage, $1196.78. Miscellaneous supplies, $109.50. I love to get an itemized report of what kind of miscellaneous shit did they use. You took off my fairing, took off my old sensor, put on your new sensor, put my fairing back on, and then, you know, washed your hands, smoked a cigarette, ate something, you know what I'm saying, and then that's it. So I don't know what that is, because up here, if you can see, number 2, it says grease fifth wheel, customer requested item, lube fifth wheel, no charge to customer. So if there's no charge to customer, where the $109.50 or the $109 come from, I have no idea. Pretty sure somebody could comment and say something. Maybe it's something I'm not thinking of. You know, I'm trying to keep the cost low and down, so other than that, it's done, and the best thing about it was done on a Sunday. Imagine that, a dealership that actually diagnose, fix your problem, and have it done by Sunday evening. If I would have known it had been done that quick, I would have never needed the loader truck. I just would have sat there, picked my truck up right now, hooked back up to my trailer, and got down here before tomorrow morning still. But whatever. The way they did the load pay was it was paying per mile. They times about how many miles I drove it to Memphis, and then the remainder miles down to Louisiana, they gave me a different pay. So I did lose a couple $100, but my truck fuel is at like an eighth of tank right now, so I never put fuel on this trip in my truck. So luckily I didn't, otherwise it'd be a lot lower pay. So I'm happy about that. So even though I took a couple $100 loss, at the same time I didn't put fuel in my truck. So I kind of didn't lose money, but wherever load I pick up down here to go back up past there is where the money kind of starts slipping away from me a little bit until I get back in my truck. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be back in my truck, back to making my 70%, and keep it moving, because now it's about to be November 1st. Most of these steel mill places requires you to tarp your loads between November 1st and April 1st. So I'm about to start working harder in colder conditions Not too happy about it, but it is what it is. Just ready to get some money up so I can make some more stuff happen. So that's my update. Struggles of an owner operator, a sensor. I actually got plans in the future for this DEF shit. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about already, to make it disappear. So I am looking into that right now as we speak. I already got some intel on it. It's just a matter of me getting the money up and going on with that. And with a slow season like winter, this is probably the best time to do it. So stay up with me, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, watching, commenting. And I'll get back with y'all until next time. I'm actually about to go in here, take a shower, get something to eat, and then play around my computer for a little bit. So holler back at y'all later. Peace.